This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi, Chef KD, and Lindsay Anderson. Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K. Taking it easy, Louisiana State Parks. Follow your outside voice to our parks and historic sites. Farm Bureau Insurance. Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. Veterans Help Foundation. Relief Windows. Experience. Quality Service. Catering Cajun. Creative catering from casual to corporate. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.
Welcome to this week's edition of Paradise, Louisiana, coming to you from Spear Bait and Tackle here on Segan Lane. I'm Gary Risponi.
Hey, I'm Chef KD from the big old G, Gonzales.
Boy, Chef KD. That chef means a lot, but now it's God KD too. But let me tell you, KD, I don't know if we dodged a bullet, but we had a blessing the other day. The little storm we were worried about wasn't quite as bad as we thought it was going to be. A lot of times when you pray it don't hit you, you got to pray for the other people it's going to hit. Now, they got another one in there called Florence. There's 3 of them in the Gulf now. They're all hurricanes. We need to do a lot of praying for everybody coming up. But we dodged a bullet, brought some good fishing in there. I know people that stayed at Grand Isle, fished off the bank. So we got fishing reports coming. You had another good weekend down there. I went ball gaming and tailgating a little bit,
but still talking about the food, and I'm hungry. So
I went today. Man. Well, you know who was catering.
If Donnie was cooking, you ate pretty good. Y'all saw that last week from the tailgate that Wayne put on.
Ain't nothing that was like that. I ain't never seen. I've been to a bunch of cook-offs and tailgates. I've never seen what y'all had over there at Wayne's house. And they would tell me they couldn't show it all. They had an Italian feast upstairs. You know Wayne's half Italian. I want you to know that.
Oh, I know he's half Italian.
Yeah, okay, just want to make sure. I would say that. Katie, we got so much coming up. I got a little short teal report. I'll make another visit down to Travisville, Kentwood. Made a little dove hunt Friday. That was a little short trip with some of my buddies. Dr. Gladney came over there. We'll show you something there at pitch. And then you got something that I really don't quite understand. I can't wait to see.
Well, y'all ever heard the word couillon? Huh? I'm sitting there working on my boat. I got a 4-horseman cork. You know, this boat's on the land. It's in the shed. Cork sitting up there with 2 foot a leader, and it just fell off the boat. Okay, well, video will follow and show you just what can happen when you're not expecting.
Well, what is this?
Huh?
Facial.
Oh, man, let me tell you something.
That's what I don't understand.
Guys, we got a little video that actually they have developed a feeder that you can program to only feed the kind of animal that you want to feed, like a deer and or a hog. And look, y'all got to come back and check this out. This is from Santa
That scares me. If they can do that with animals.
Gary, you know what?
What kind of look I got to have so I can get something to eat? You imagine somebody have something to go to a restaurant, someone I say.
There's a lot I can say. Well, I ain't even going there. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Stay tuned for more Paradise, Louisiana. Voted Best of Louisiana Outdoors 3 years in a row.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
Benny's Unlimited Wash Club memberships start at $14.99 a month. Wash, rinse, and repeat every day. Join Benny's Unlimited Wash Club at one of Benny's 7 locations.
Aggressive, modern, and durable. The latest advancement in spinning has the Revo name on it, and almost a century of fishing expertise in it. No matter where your passion takes you, world-class fishing is only a Revo away.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. We believe you deserve a quality job.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Finally, huh?
Thank
We've been
goodness.
talking about Labor Day and it's going to be over. Well, this year, 2018, 24th year, CCA Star is in the record books. And it was one of those years because, you know, you started off with some monster trout.
We did. You know, it was funny. And like all the fishermen know, this summer was a little hit or miss when you're going down the coast. We had some great fish weighed in early, but nothing I thought would actually hold up. We actually had a whole lot hold up. So it was one of those years that anybody could have won it.
Now, I always want to know, three of them caught a tag fish, cashed in. Once again, more caught a tag fish that wasn't registered.
We had 7 caught and 3 of which were members and signed up. So we had only 4 losers, which, you know, we never know what's going to happen. Last year we had 14 fish caught. The year before we had 8, and so it kind of swings back and forth. But only 3 are taking home prizes, 1 with a truck and 2 with Nautic Stars.
Well, you know, Gary caught a tag redfish. He got all excited, but he was just a year late. He got a T-shirt.
That is, well, he caught a yellow tag, not a red one.
Right.
But you know, the yellow.
Next year he'll catch the red tag. It's going to be a green. That's my kind of luck.
Absolutely, and it happens. Look, we had one caught that 2 years ago that traveled only like 3 miles, and it ended up being a bull red. So it happens, but we still have some lucky winners, and then we're going to give a ton of other stuff away for the big trout and everything else.
Well, I mean, come on, this is the silver anniversary next year. I'm sure there's going to be, we can't say, you kind of hinted, I can't tell you, but guys, get ready because they're just going to blow it out next year. I mean, 25 years, standing up for conservation, standing up for our snappers. There's so many things that have happened. Without y'all's voice out there, nothing would have happened.
Well, we appreciate it. Look, it's just a membership drive. The reason we do Star is we want to get as many people in, and that way we can educate you about what's going on with conservation measures and the whole 9 yards. But it also, look, it's a feather in y'all's hat that one of the guys that placed in here said, the reason I caught my fish is I saw what Tommy Vadrine was doing, and I beat him to the spot one day and actually caught the fish right next to him. So Scott Michael Roush, who's a big East Division angler, ended up in the Southeast in 3rd place, but that's where he caught his fish.
Gary visited with him after he caught the fish, and you know, we had a 5+ caught off the side of the road in Leeville, and more of that's coming up because Leeville has been on fire. But let's touch on a few of the categories that you really find impressive right now.
Well, you know, the overall trout was 7.5 pounds caught in the west, but you know, typically a 7.5 doesn't even get on our board in the west part of the state. Now, you're going to recognize some other names. Ed Sexton, who we all know, especially here in the Baton Rouge area.
Mr. Big Trout.
Mr. Big Trout actually weighed, and a lot of people have asked, why is his fish weighed in at Port Fourchon Marina? He was fishing the Catholic High tournament, but the fish was caught in the east side of the state, so that's where it goes. You know, Taylor Visa, a nice young man, new to the Star, new to the leaderboard, and caught a really nice fish down in Fourchon. Dave Broussard, who has won, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, down in Southwest, and Billy Boswell over in the west. Now, all of these are official. They are on the leaderboard, but we still got a lot of polygraphs and things to do, so we might see a shake-up, but hopefully not, and I don't expect to. But just so you know, you'll see on our website it's going to say unofficial final results, and we'll change that verbiage here in a week or so.
But you have to. When you get into something, you know, you're not talking about just giving away a $20 gift certificate.
Absolutely.
So you have to be accountable.
We want to keep the integrity of the tournament. So, but you know, a couple other notables. My buddy Travis Calais won the Cobia division. He weighed that in like week 2. And has been sweating it all summer and actually held up with 56 pounds.
Bruce White pushed him.
Oh,
He came within a couple pounds.
He came close. He came close. Ross Sampe caught a nice Dorado. He had never fished. One of our board members is his boat captain, and finally convinced him to enter, and so he wins in the first year. You know, red snapper, we had to follow the season, but the 29-pounder was caught really early by Robert Garrison, and it held up. 29 pounds is hard to beat
That's a monster.
in any snapper. And one really fun notable is Miss Angie Stewart from Lake Catherine Marina. She wins the Sheep's Head East Division. She's actually one of our weigh stations. And
one of our biggest contributors of stories and pictures. And we're going to be over there next week. So, I mean, there's a lot going on for her. And she is, when I tell you on top of an area, that's Miss Angie.
No doubt. They've got it under control and a great weigh station for us.
How about in the youth division? How did that work out?
So youth, right now we have a little over 2,500 kids, but we don't have that many fish entered. So right now you're looking at a 1 in 50, 1 in 100 chance, depending on the divisions. Next time I come on the air, we'll be able to announce the winners. We always give them a few more days to make sure the parents send in the pictures and we get them from all the weigh stations. But we're going to be giving 4 boat motor and trailers away to the kids, and like I said, we'll be able to announce it next week.
We know anybody can win it because my daughter won one.
That is true. That is true.
And she's like, Daddy, I went fishing one time this year. I won a boat motor trailer. Why can't you win one?
Now, you know, y'all talking about bank fishing, especially around Leeville, and there's some big fish, but you see Don Davis won the bank division. We have that. You don't need a boat to fish a star. 6.88 pounds over on the west side of the state.
Wow. That's not little trout. That's
big trout. Big trout. So all in all, it was a great tournament, and you'll be able to see all the prizes given away on October 18th at the Star Banquet here in Baton Rouge.
The one thing I'm going to close with, volunteers. Because without the volunteers that I see everywhere y'all go for the legislative tournaments, state tournaments, banquets, which you got the big one coming up in Gonzales and Lamar Dixon. I mean, what can you just say? I mean, how could you ask for anything more than what these volunteers do?
Look, there's a reason I've been doing this for 15 years is because we have an incredible amount of volunteers. There's 25,000 of them in the state, and without them, what we do is not possible. Look, all the things you named, look at Star. Look at all the weigh stations and all the people that have to help us pull off a fishing tournament with 12,000 people. So hats off to all the volunteers, all the sponsors. It wouldn't be possible without them.
Hey, guys, wrap it up this year. Next year will be the silver anniversary. And we're just as excited about year 25 as we were about year 1.
Right.
Can't wait to see year 50. Hey, we'll be right back. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana. Rad Thrasher, tournament director, and every other hat you can wear for Star. Hey, David Crisson and the rest of the team, thank y'all so much. We'll be right back. We've been fishing together for years as you watch the show, but I got my captain's license. I'm ready to take you out to share the kind of experience that I grew up with my family having. Give me a holler, chefkd.com. Don't tell nobody, but we gonna cook and eat pretty good on board. See you soon.
I can't imagine a day without music. You go downtown, you can find some music. You come uptown, you can find some music. Monday night, they got music. Every night of the week, there's music somewhere. Baton Rouge is a place where it's easy to make friends. It's easy to hear some music, and it's easy to come back. We got the music, we got the food, and we got good people. So with that combination, you can't lose, right? You ever come to Louisiana?
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
Wow, welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Gary, we still got, man, you've been doing so much hunting. We still got some follow-up.
I want to know about the teal now. I've been getting teal reports in. All the guys down at Pecan Island are seeing teal. Gaydon, the same thing. They were showing up. A couple of places up north.
We saw some around West Fork and Big Pigeon.
Huh?
We saw some in West Fork, Big Pigeon in the spillway.
Well, that's a good sign. You know, sometimes they just show up right at the last minute. With all this weather going and south wind, I remember hunting with Buckley Kessler and Cleve Vincent and them over in Gaydon area, and we had hurricanes blowing in. It was humid, hot, rain. We killed our limit. He had it claimed before 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Who you think's getting excited right now is Don Dubuque, because you know when teal season comes, Don's like a kid in a candy store. He just can't wait to get out there.
Well, we're going to find out what the teal report. We weren't too late to do it because we're going to be at Ron Lambert's, and that's one of their favorite hunts too.
I tell you what, Ron's on top of
They got
them.
water, but with these hurricanes, you never know what's going to happen and how I can do it. I want to make another little trip. I got some good reports on doves. A lot of people are hunting in the Northwest. If you see, and we get to the news report, there was a lot of arrests made for people baiting fields. Yeah, you see, we had a good hunt up in Mississippi with my brother. But Travisville, and I'm talking about right off of Kentwood, Travis Day, and Mr. Billy Travis is the patriarch. He started all this years ago, and he has all his friends, and Dr. Foster Sanders and people who come. So the other Friday, Friday or Saturday, said, you want to come make a hunt? There weren't no kids except the kids that we hunted later, they were going to come after school. Over there, they hunt every time. They ain't milking cows in the morning, they hunt in the evening, before and after school. So, which we did. I had my buddy Ralph Campanile, Rick Capo, Wayne Amato, and Mr. Witten, Ronnie Witten. So we all made a trip over there, and they met us. Then we bought some boudin, some hoghead cheese, and we had a little feast, and we sit out there.
Here's with food again.
We was hoping the rain would come, you know. Now, I don't have no video of them shooting, but that hunt, we had to cut it short over there at Mr. Travis's place the other day. We had a young lady I want y'all to see. Hunt deer, ducks, and everything goes to you high. We didn't get that interview. We had a traveler came all the way. You heard about that hunt, came from Texas. So we're going to visit the Travis dove hunt again in Kentwood, Louisiana. Tell me your first and last name and where you go to school.
My name's Cade Easley, and I go to Oak Forest.
And your name?
Dane Travis, I go to Oak Forest.
Okay, watch. I saw y'all shoot a while ago. They quit flying.
Corey Travis, and I go to Oak Forest. Emma Day, and I go to Oak Forest. Maddie Aldridge, and I go to Holy Ghost. Kennedy Easley, and I go to Oak Forest.
Now, I saw you shoot a while ago. You were blasting them.
Yes, sir.
This ain't your first dove hunt, huh?
No, sir.
What else do you hunt?
I deer hunt, I duck hunt, and I squirrel hunt.
What's your favorite?
Some deer hunting and dove hunting.
I agree with you. Emma, you play all kind of sports, and I know you brought up running these fields. What's your favorite hunting?
Deer and dove.
Very good. And up on top of the bell. What's your favorite?
Duck and dove.
Yeah. And you go to school where?
Holy Ghost.
In Hammond?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. And your name?
My name?
Again.
Corey Travis.
And where you go to school?
Oak Forest.
And what's your favorite hunting?
Deer hunting.
Deer hunting? You killed a deer yet? Yeah? How big? Kill a buck, doe, what?
At 6 Point.
Where y'all hunt?
Mississippi.
Good. This is what it's all about. You know, that's the fastest growing thing in outdoors is women in the outdoors. Yeah. What else you do? Play any other sport?
Softball and basketball.
Well, y'all do it all. Emma, they said y'all just come from a big tournament in Shreveport. Got in at 4 o'clock this morning, huh?
Yes, sir.
How'd y'all do?
Good.
Y'all won it all? Well, go
won.
ahead. You play on that same team?
I play on the same team with her.
Oh, good.
I'm her.
All right. And you stand up there like a model. All right.
It's from her mama.
Y'all have fun. I'm gonna.
No, it's not. Is that a dove? Yeah, it's a dove.
Now, don't shoot over each other's heads. Yeah, boy, there. See how high he hit that bird?
Boy over there.
Yeah, they're shooting long grass shells. Adeline, tell me some of your hunting you've done during your life.
I hunt deer, dove, and turkeys. Mostly deer. But
Killed a turkey?
Not yet.
You had him close? There he come. There he come. Watch him, he's passed up. Right. How old were you when you first hunted?
When I first started hunting, I was probably 8 years old.
How many deer have you killed?
Probably about 10.
My goodness, no wonder. What's the biggest?
I killed an 11 point when I was 9.
Mounted?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that is your favorite hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you duck hunt?
I don't duck hunt.
Yeah.
No.
The best part about being a member of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative is that it's your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
There's no better way to cool down this summer than with a delicious thirst-quenching Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. The Polar Pop Cup is the coolest way to beat the heat. Fill your Polar Pop Cup up with the flavors you crave and crushed or cubed ice. Nothing stays cold longer, so you can stay refreshed all day long. Stop in Circle K today for an ice-cold Polar Pop Cup. Polar Pop Cup, only at Circle K. Take it easy.
The perfect event calls for the perfect spread of authentic Cajun cuisine. And Catering Cajun has the planners, packages, and chefs to ensure your event is long remembered. For weddings, corporate lunches, or anything in between, give us a call.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, news and event report. Katie, I'm going to start off with you.
Well, you know, Henry
and Henry Big Buddy, he's sending you pictures every day, every week.
Man, it just makes you, if you're not on the water or watching God paint a sunrise, look at these pictures in here from Don Moe. And also, I mean, he sent 2 of them. I mean, come on. It just don't get any better than that.
Yeah, you know, you sent me one in you know, with the guy stacking firewood. They must have got a lot of fishing on their mind, that picture, huh? You know what, I got a story about the weather. You know, there's been, the Native American chiefs have been in the news lately. You know, we had a young American native chief, and guys told him, he said, you better get ready, the winter's coming up, you need to give us a report, a weather report. You know how the animals, too much fur. They expect the chief to give you a report at the big meeting. So he said, man, I ain't been up on it. I've been using like everybody else. I use the weather. So he called the weather people, and he said, guys, can you tell me, what the future, the weather holds? Long range forecast. He said, I'm going to tell you what. He says, right now, it's going to be fairly cold. It's going to be a little bit colder than normal. He said, but you never know. You just got to watch the weather. See if we get some more fronts. They talked about El Nino, and he said, all right. So he gave his report. Sure enough, we come back later, and somebody said, man, he says, you better give an update. He said, let me call the wildlife and fisheries and the news report, U.S. weather report. And he said, I'm going to tell you what. He says, I think it's going to be a tough winter. He said, it might be winter. He says, you might ought to alter that report, Chief. So he said, I will. He altered the report. He said, man, that's a good deal. He went all to report. Sure enough, before he come, he said, well, I'm gonna give you one final. He called the weather station again, and the guys at the U.S. weather station said, I'm gonna tell you what, you better get ready. I said, what you mean, better get ready? He said, probably gonna be one of the coldest winters on record. Went back and told him, he got to thinking. He says, you know, with all this stuff, and he talking about, how you know all this? He called him back and said, well, you know, you looking at the fur on the animals, or you watching the dens they making, or what? He said, no, man, you go around in Native American, they stacking firewood like crazy right now. So that's it, KD. We got a lot of other news.
Hey, CCA, we just about to talk with Rad, but you know, the largest banquet in the state, our boys right there in Ascension, Lamar Dixon, September 20th, right around the corner. And, you know, they just have an amazing banquet, but our state banquet's not too far, where everything will be certified and final, and they give everything away.
I think at the Gonzales banquet, you know, over there in Moore, I think it's, by numbers, it's probably the biggest one in the state now.
Biggest one in the state.
One of the biggest.
Well, we got a little prayer request, and, you know, Cornell Arsenault in the early 80s really carried the torch, helped start a lot of the chapters in the state for CCA. And he was in Grand Isle, and he got that Vibrio virus, and he spent 12 days in the hospital, and he's home now, but he's got at least one more surgery. Now, I don't know, the guides tell me that they keep Clorox on the boat, and if they get themselves cut, they pour Clorox on it. I don't know, but I would appreciate, you know, the medical profession, any of these guys watching, they can give us a really good answer on, you know, what happens if we get
sometimes it just
cut.
be a stick.
What do we need to do to try to help prevent
I mentioned
the
the name. I called him Pharaoh Goat. It's Pharaoh Gotro. I called him another name, Bedron, last week. Pharaoh's one of the cooks, and he had that same thing. He found his leg was all cut open, but he's healing good now, thank God.
Now, Tofield. Tofield got the package coming up for this time of year, right?
Does he have it? I'm going to tell you what, Tofield Bourgeois, what they got coming up is vast and chaos. He tried it once before, but now he got some young captains and some young hunting guides, and it's a total expense. Total expense. You're going to come down just 2 days. You spend 1 day hunting, 1 day fishing, evening fishing. Food is unbelievable. You're going to have full course meals every meal, breakfast, brunch, anything you want. Tofield, you just call them down there in Louisiana. NewOrleansFishing.com or Bourgeois Charters, go on the internet. Book your trip early. Come tell you what, he's going to fill up
and
fast.
Look, Ron Lambert and his team out there, Cajun Fishing Adventures. You know, if you really want to come down and experience all the different sides to Louisiana hunting and fishing and food, these guys got it. Hey, give us a holler out in Leeville. We'll be ready next year because we're putting in KD's Kitchen at the bottom of the lodge. We'll be able to feed right up to 50 people in the bottom. First class accommodations.
And let me tell you what, ducks are moving back in that way. They got a lot of gray ducks and a lot of teal, but they're getting a few mallards in them, a few back are moving, and all these diversions, things are changing. And
well, you know, that's amazing how the water's changed.
Chris Pike is another one. His is called Cast and Blast Charters.
Yeah, that's out of Delacroix.
That's right.
Now look we're talking about hunting. If you go buy a sack of corn and pour the corn on the ground and start shooting doves, it ain't like you can hide because they can hear you shoot. 39 citations first weekend of dove season.
I can tell right now, you wouldn't make a good cheat. Corn ain't the best one. That's good for ducks. But you got to use an outlaw. They use wheat. So they use a lot of other things besides that. But you know, it's a way to do it legally. You can enhance your hunting. It's all about take work. Takes planting.
But you got to plant.
When you plow, you got to plow it under. You got to do this, and you got to be careful. If you got food plots or out there with cattle, and they spreading that food, you feeding your cow or horses, you got to make sure 10 days before all of it's gone, because they're going to come through. There's a lot of ways to do it. If you got any questions, call the Wildlife and Fisheries. They'll tell you how to do it.
You know, I consider it an honor, but 413 Ministry, the outdoor ministry, has asked myself and Timmy Email to come down right down there in Belrose, Louisiana, November 3rd. They have the game on, widescreen TV, a lot of fellowship, and just share some messages of God's great outdoors. But hey, this Saturday, right down there in Norco, 6th annual Sheriff Barnell Charles Sr., they're going to have 8 through 15-year-old at the Norco boat launch. Got to be accompanied by an adult, and the adult has to stay with the kids. But you can bring your own tackle, but they will have tackle if it's not available. And it's just an awesome thing to do where kids can get out there.
If you got any questions, you call the St. John Sheriff's Office. But Mr. Burnell Charles, his number is 504-570-4885. So I don't know if we can get the time to put it on the screen. But that's a big deal. It's been postponed. They were so conscious about the kids. They had high water first time. Second time, the weather was terrible. It was being this, the roads there, we were doing construction. It was wet. Supposed to be in perfect shape. It is going to take a lot of rain to stop it. They'll be there. Be there. If you can't do it this year, you better do it next year because it's been going on a long time. Be over 100 kids.
Yeah, and Wildlife and Fisheries coming up to Baton Rouge Main Library on October 10th. This is a free deal, but it's going to kind of go into all of the different aspects of waterfowl habitat, populations, hunting regulations. You know, Louisiana Wildlife Federation, they do so many things that you're unaware of to keep the public informed, just like CCA managing the fisheries and managing the habitats. And
just like this weekend coming up too, at Wildlife Expo, they're going to be teaching how to track, how to shoot, how to tell deer signs, how to clean. Everything you want to know about wildlife, hunting,
and eat
wildlife.
pretty good.
Yeah, and free is free.
Free is free. Hey, don't get
That's
better
good
than that.
and better than that. That's right. That's why they always ask me how I want my steak. You know, how you want your steak, Mr. Gary? I say free. That's how you want to do. Look, now.
Then come that voice recognition, now that facial recognition, zap, no free.
Well, no, wildlife, talking about wildlife right now. Bayou State Rabbit Hunters. Been one of the first members alongside Joe Macalusa and I. When they first got started with 200 members, they're over 3,000 now.
That's unbelievable.
You know, it's a great deal. And they're fair at what they do. They go to Wildlife and Fisheries and say, look, these deer seasons are going too long. Give us a couple places that we can hunt rabbits. We can bring our dogs and hunt. They do it private land. They do what they can do. They got a cook-off. Their cook-off is not just jambalaya, rib cook-off. Now, if you know those guys out in Irvinville and all them guys out, them horseback riders and everything, it'll be at the Immaculate Conception. It's this Saturday, September 15th. It'll be in the fairgrounds, the Immaculate Conception Church right there.
All right, well, guys, we're going to be right back. Still got a lot of fishing to talk about, so y'all come back. We'll see you in a second.
Pause moving and storage.
We just sold our house.
Congratulations.
We have 2 weeks to move.
We'll deliver a few containers.
Our new home's not ready.
No problem. You can store things with us while you're between homes.
We might need help.
We'll refer trusted packers.
We'll be staying at my brother's.
Well, that sounds...
He has kids of his own.
Well...
5 of them.
Ma'am?
Help.
Trust us for local and long-distance moving and store at our storage centers. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
For generations, anglers from across the globe have put their trust in Abu Garcia. Because out here on the water, we know our science is your religion. Fish like a fanatic with the latest generation of Revo. Featuring up to 24 pounds of max drag. Designed for leverage and power. Built on corrosion resistance and comfort. World-class adventure awaits with Revo. Abu Garcia for life.
Hi, I'm John Jackson, and you know we always say we gather our groceries out the bayou. Whether it's freshwater, saltwater, catfish, redfish, you have tons of choices when it comes to fish in Louisiana. But when I fry fish, there's only one choice, and that's Louisiana fish fry. My new favorite, the Cajun fish fry, has the perfect amount of cornmeal, corn flour, and the perfect mix of spices that really bring the heat. Hey, if you're craving Cajun, go look for the bright red bag at your local grocers. Bring home the taste of Louisiana with Louisiana Fish Fry.
The perfect event calls for the perfect spread of authentic Cajun cuisine. And Catering Cajun has the planners, packages, and chefs to ensure your event is long remembered. For weddings, corporate lunches, or anything in between, give us a call.
Hey, welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Time for the H&H Tournament Report. Hey, one of the last tournaments this summer season for the Bassmaster Central down in Logan Martin, out in Alabama. A couple of our local boys were way up in the hunt, but man, look, that's a tough history. Todd Murray came in 25th. Your boy Quentin Campo, 26th. Both got a check. Derek Hudnall made a small check too. He came in 41st. And man, look, he'd lost a dear loved one in the family. You know, went up there with all that going on, still did great. Right out the money, Cliff Crochet, Tyler Rivette, Jimmy Charbonnet, and old Winston Michel. Now retired Winston Michel. But they all went up there and had a good time.
That little bitty old guy been taking people and teach them how to fish in Lake Barrett area since I can know. He does it a little good with the.
Look, put him and Sandy go there in a boat, them bass in trouble.
Now, I tell you what, little Winston, he's with that prayer group that fishes.
Fishers of Men.
Fishers of Men. He
That's it.
does a great job. Let me tell you, we got a bunch of tournaments coming up. We got some other events that are almost like tournaments or not. But the Venetian Isle annual rodeo, one of the biggest over there, you know, coming off the North Shore in East New Orleans. It's going to be at Island Marina. Y'all know where it is on Highway 90. It's going to run from the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Now, at Island Marina and them, they putting on a seminar that's going to have Mike Gallo and C.T. Williams. It's going to be at the St. Tammany Yacht Club now. That's around Mandeville. That's on the 20th. So that's the same day we're going to be down there with Wish to Fish. But that evening, it looks like I'm going to be spending about 4 or 5 days in my camp right there in Slidell because there's a lot of activity going there. For the people that were used to the Duck Festival being in August, well, they moved it back. It's coming up next weekend, not this coming weekend, weekend after next. That's at the Duck Festival grounds. They're going, you know, in the tent or whatever they call it, in the pavilion. Bands like you ain't never heard. Cajun bands, rock bands, swamp rock, food, anything you got over there, parade. Now, the dog trials and the duck calling contests were a couple weeks ago, and we'll be bringing you that right before the duck season. But that's September 20th to the 23rd in Gaydon. That's it. That's what I got.
Hey, that's enough because we got a bunch of fishing coming at you. Be right back.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
So what are you going to do with the special time?
There's just no doubt about it that this is a place where food is created differently from anywhere else in the world because it just couldn't be made. We're a culture made up of so many different people, loving ingredients, loving cooking styles, and they're all right here. At the end of the day, that's all made.com.
Benny's Unlimited Wash Club memberships start at $14.99 a month. Wash, rinse, and repeat every day. Join Benny's Unlimited Wash Club at one of Benny's 7 locations.
Hey, welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Gary, a couple months ago, we've been sitting on this report right out of Santa Monica. They have developed a facial recognition feeder called Wise Eye, to where you can program it to recognize a deer and it'll dispense some corn. But if you're a hog and it's programmed for deer, it won't feed you.
You mean it work on ugly too?
Oh, I hope. But if the hog come back the second time and it done told him no the first time, it'll actually on with a 10,000 volts, and pow, he won't be back getting the food.
You know, they got a lot of buffet around here. What we call buffet. Buffet.
I know where you go.
You know,
Yes.
they put one on there and they see my picture and say, "Whoa, that guy might be too much."
You know that old comedian used to say, buffet closed?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be one way to keep us from going back too much.
That's very interesting. Let's look at that.
Eastern Central Sportsman's League, check it out from that meeting. Just see how amazing technology is getting.
This is what you will get with it. Can everybody see that? So at the top, you have system name, which you can name your own feeder. So if you have 10 of these, you can name each one. And that's going to be important in just a minute. Date and time, it's going to stamp your pictures on it. System mode, we have demo modes and we have standard modes. The only difference between demo modes and standard modes, the demo modes will not shock you. I'll get that in a minute. Then we have select species. So this is what we pride ourselves in. So at the top, you have what you want to feed. So today we're going to feed white-tailed deer. You can also feed hogs, all dads, and elks. And you just click the ones you want, and then, oh man, I saved it. Hang on. It's going to reboot, so just don't worry.
Duck!
So if you do this, you have to wait until it blinks 5 times before you move on to changing anything else. So then you have what you don't want it to feed. So the bottom one, you have all dad, whitetail, hog, raccoons, black bear, and elk. Yes, I did say raccoons. You can keep raccoons out of this. You can keep hogs out of this. You can keep anything that's on this menu out of it. Then we have operating programs. So right now we have it set to normally closed. So that means the group at the top I was talking about what you want to feed, if it approaches the machine, it's going to open. So we have a deer. Don't make fun of my pictures. These are our warehouse pictures. Everybody else took my good ones. So we have a deer. So the reason why I'm holding it up so close is because in the wild, so trees, grass, stuff like that, we made it cancel that out. So it doesn't technically see it. I didn't count for people and floors and all this kind of stuff. So it saw the deer and it opened.
And the deer ran off and all that kind of stuff.
I'm getting there. Hang on.
Deer's in another county.
We got something for that. That target species that you want, if you go to view images, that picture that I just showed it is right here. It only saves the pictures of the target animals that you want to feed. You won't get any coon pictures, unless you want to feed the hogs, of course, you're going to have them. But it's that target species that will come right here on your picture. And you can delete them, you can save them to this thing, you can whatever. And also that name, remember the name I talked about? It's going to save on these pictures. So if I blow it up, or if I tap it and blow it up, that Wi-Fi name is going to be at the bottom with that timestamp. So you know which feeder it came from and all that kind of stuff.
So they don't have to go to the machine and get the picture.
You can do it right here
You can park a quarter mile from it, log into it,
and get them.
and look at all the pictures of just the species that were approved.
And also, we have an activity chart.
Does it have a chip you can pull and take it home? Look at pictures.
It's all Bluetooth, Wi-Fi.
It's Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi. So that white-tailed deer that I just showed it's in 3-hour little sections. So that deer that I showed it at 8:25, it put it in this. No, I did that wrong. My bad. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I set the time wrong. And it did the white-tailed deer. So it's only going to keep track of the white-tailed deer, hogs, and black bears. And feed time settings, so you can set your feeder to work from a certain time, so 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. to 7, I think it's 4 through 10 a.m. and then 4 through 10 p.m. So in that time that it works, it's going to take pictures, it's going to feed, it's going to whatnot. But after that close time, It will still take pictures and it still will update the activity graph, but it will not feed. It's totally shut down.
Okay, Brett, safety and car insurance.
Never scored a safety. That's defense. But go on, please.
Yeah, defensive. That's exactly how you should drive.
There is no such thing as a defensive drive. Offense makes the drive.
Oh, I mean when you're on the road.
But it doesn't matter, home or away.
Okay, clearly I'm striking out here.
That's baseball.
Get great auto rates from Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your agent today.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. We believe you deserve a quality job.
In Louisiana, our state parks are the perfect family destination. With nearly 180 miles of trails through park grounds and historic sites, you can endlessly explore nature, try some kayaking or world-class fishing, then find the perfect campsite or settle into a cozy cabin. Louisiana is calling, and she's using her outside voice. Plan your escape today at www.lastateparks.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Hey, Gerald Gaspard, Abel Garcia, Berkeley. Fishing report time, buddy, and it's game on.
It's game on. I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna start with freshwater. People have been calling me, they're catching sac-a-lait from Toledo Bend. You call that white perch over there. All the canals coming up, Lake Concordia, Lake St. John, a lot of the lakes they're starting to catch sac-a-lait right now. One of the hottest places going right now is Old River. This Old River, how many Old Rivers you know they got right now? They got Old River in the spillway. You made a trip in the spillway, didn't do too good. Mr. Burns here at Severe Bait and Tackle went, they caught about 15 or 20, and they're mixed, some big and some hot. They were using black and chartreuse jig. He was telling that this morning. My best report I told you is coming from Old River from David Pizzolata. David gave us one that's been on about 3 or 4 weeks now. He's been going up there and catching anywhere from 16, 18, 20 good days, but they monsters.
That ain't little bitty sac-a-lait.
They monsters. They slabs. Last week he was telling me he was catching on the crappie, inch and a half crappie shoot 'em by Bobby Garland. The blue ice, that's it. That's the color right there, the blue ice. And the other one is the Bobby Garland, the bigger, the opening night, but it's the 2.5, it's the longer one. You see it right there, and it's got the flat tail. See the colors, it's just different.
What'd you do
but
with
this
those,
is
what'd
the
you do with
secret.
those other ones?
Right, there you go. Put them out there. You got to pay for them, though. Yeah, but this here, you see this little jig, you're going to hard to see them jig. I didn't even know they made them. They showed me here. 1 1/48 ounce. He says the secret is he's fishing with a cork. He's checking his depth finder. Early in the morning, he's fishing 2, 3, 4 foot of water up against the banks. He's looking for stumps. He's looking for trees, anything. He said because they're in there. When it starts heating up, they move out. When they move out to 7 or 8 foot of water, I guess they're trying to find that thermocline or wherever. He fished 5 or 6 foot. He's fishing about a foot or foot and a half off the bottom, and they letting it go down real easy, dropping it. That's a 1 in 48
You know the
ounce.
thermocline I like to put them sac-a-lait in? Is that 350-degree oil.
Well, that's a thermocline.
That's a thermocline.
How long you got to cook to get them? All right. And then friend David Rapola in the central part of the state, he's not far from Lotto and Saline. He's fishing these little sloughs and the bayous down by there. He was shooting doves off the bank, having a good time, and they're catching brim with Chris Elmore and his son Wright there at Davis Camp. And they are catching brim and shooting doves. Can't get better than that. Spending time with the kids. Spending time with the kids.
Your old buddy John Bernard, did y'all hear the celebration in Amelia going on? That was his last brim trip for a while, and the brim are kind of excited to get a chance to get a little freedom from him because he's been wearing them out all summer.
He getting ready to go to Dulac. He gonna follow you over there.
But he took a little youth pastor from New Iberia, Philip Marquette, and they still had a great trip. I mean, that guy has been on them all year long. It's just been unreal.
Well, I showed you the baits. Tell us what you've been catching on right now. Let's talk about what you've been catching, what you hear.
Well, first thing I hear on freshwater is a lot of spinnerbait fish and a lot of, you talking about the 1/48 ounce jig for the sac-a-lait, very, very light weights on plastic. It's really been good. When the sun comes out, they punch it. But your buddy, Bill, got a report going to saltwater, Bill Bingham, right out there, rainy Labor Day. But man, look, they found when that rainwater got in those ponds, started running out, turned the fish on. They really caught some pretty fish. Check these out.
Grandson, great deal.
But look at here. Our friends down there at Gulf Coast Furniture Liquidators, they always go down to Grand Isle. Well, they said, man, look, it's vacation time. We're not leaving for the storm. So they got roadside. Check out all the fish they caught along the roadside.
But that's the story right now. On the roadside, from now to the cold front starts coming, you're going to catch fish, especially with these high tides. They're rolling in with these storms. It rolls in and rolls out. People catching shrimp with cast nets off the road. You know, the one time, Sheriff Ote and them, you didn't fish those little spots. Right now, it's wide open. You want to be safe. You got to pick up your trash. If anything's going to run it, it's the same thing out in the Southwest. You know, they closed them landings sometimes because people were leaving their trash, leaving their crab bait dead, causing flies, unhealthy.
Don't even want to talk about
You're going to shut it down. You're going to shut it down.
Now, you know, you were talking a little earlier. I went down with the Dondy McNulty Sr., and while we were going down to Grand Isle on Labor Day, all the roads alongside the road going into Grand Isle, the porpoises were right there in the ditches. That's how high the tide was. But check out this picture. Dondy McNulty Jr., who you went with his sister to the game, I found out. I missed the tailgate, but when you left your brother's tailgate, y'all all went to the game. Look at this. This bull red, this is a big guy now. That bull red's got to be 4 foot long, 12-pound test on a matrix shad under a 4-horseman cork. Look, they just chased him down till they wore him out. That is a beautiful fish. Now, back to your old buddy, Tommy Verdree. We talked about it. He's back to catching them big old specks, free lining them right off the jetties. And that's a big, big deal this time of year.
He's another one going to catch them off Highway 1. And by the way, my friends at the Gulf Coast Furniture Liquidators.
I forgot to give you the bait.
They were catching them off under that light. They were using the little small 2.5-inch Gulf glow shrimp. That's always hot.
But you know, the other night when we were camping in Leeville, the guys went out night fishing. Guess what they were catching all the white trout on? The little Berkeley, little small 2.5-inch shrimp.
That's it. There they go.
Well, at nighttime especially, a little bit of smell really makes a difference.
What about you at the charters? Your two charters?
Man, look, we had a couple of charters, and the trout we see starting to move in. I think with that surge in the tides towards the east side of Bayou Lafourche, we're starting to see some trout moving in. There's tons of bull reds in. Man, look, I got a chance to visit with Hawkeye Charters and Mr. Who Else But, the one and only, you know, Mr. Unson.
I knew him.
You know him, right? He's one of the legends.
Him and his son both.
Jody too, but Jody's welding now. But sitting there talking to him, talking about it, they still catching so many trout. They're having to move. Nobody's sitting there catching a limited trout in one spot. Points and cuts, points and cuts. And
you know what Mr. Austin uses?
Huh?
Sparkle beetle. He wears sparkle beetle out. That's all he got. He look at me. He got chartreuse and clear. Sparkle beetle.
But I'm telling you what now, he's the one that showed me about tossing that live bait in the surf too.
Oh yeah, well live bait. Everybody gonna go to live bait, but when you can't get live bait, Mr. Jody can find out. He can catch them.
Well, all I can tell you is we've been passing a good time down that way. And you know what? The marsh is only going to get better. We're starting to get good reports of all the fish moving in. Got some great reports around Hopedale where people going out 10, 11 o'clock and having literally limits of specks. And you know what that's good for? That's good for the guys that don't have the big boats. They're able to get out there in this time of year and through the winter in all these little marsh ponds and little bays when the trout move back in, and they're able to take their families safely and catch a bunch of fish.
Well, Miss Angie, she's almost too late, but she's working to death. They got a lot of people right now. They got a lot of fresh shrimp. Island Marina this coming month, I'm gonna be there a lot. Miss Angie sent us a report. They come from Lake Catherine. The water is pristine, she told me, in the Biloxi Marsh right now. So, you know, Mike Gallo. And don't forget, there's a seminar September the 20th at the Yacht Club. It's going to be C.T. Williams and Mike Gallo.
But that's the voices
Nobody
of wisdom.
knows the Pontchartrain area.
The voices of wisdom. And before we close, I missed this last week, but my charter a couple of weeks ago, 2 first cousins from New Iberia, Aubrey and Phil Aquay. And I'm telling you, you can tell that they're true Cajun boys, okay? They shared the stories about growing up and cooking and fishing. So they booked me to take them fishing. Well, they got a bet of whoever catches the first fish, no matter. Now, we fishing lemon head matrix shad under the 4 horseman cork. Well, Phil reels in. I got to share this. Phil said, man, show Aubrey's big red. But guess what, Phil? It goes around, it comes around. He caught a sail cat that big. Look at this. You see that smile? That's a $10 smile that Phil's got on. But check out the smile when Aubrey hooked into that big bull red. Phil had one hooked up, but guess what? It spooled us so we could catch up to him. So, guys, I enjoy spending a day with them. You know, cousins and the water and stuff, it just works.
You and I getting ready to spend about 3 or 4 days together. KD, I
Doing
always
what we
enjoy
love
being
to do.
with you. Let me tell you what.
The
If
veterans.
you got any questions, if you're looking for a bait, you come to Superior Bait and Tackle, come over there. Or if you live in another part of the state, give your local little bait shops. Gus's has got stuff like crazy in Slidell. You wouldn't believe they got. I'm getting ready to go get my shrimp trawler. You know, Gus is going to teach me how to shrimp. Finally got my trailer fixed, so not cut too short. But KD, God bless you. Thank you for coming in and had a great report.
God bless these outdoors that God gave us. Keep them clean. You said clean up behind you, right?
Don't forget about Spirit Bait and Tackle right here on Seagan Lane.
See you.
Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K. Taking it easy, Louisiana State Parks. Follow your outside voice to our parks and historic sites. Farm Bureau Insurance. Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. Veterans Help Foundation. Relief Windows. Experience. Quality Service. Catering Cajun. Creative catering from casual to corporate. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.